everyone, and welcome to the For Fun of Knit podcast. My name is Linda. Hopefully you have clicked on the right channel because this is all about sharing adventures and misadventures in yarny goodness, otherwise known as knitting, and a little bit of crochet, and at some point spinning, hopefully. So welcome everyone. If you're a new viewer, thank you for stopping in. If you're a returning viewer, oh guys, I'm having so much fun with you all. So thank you for continuing to check in. We have a lot of fun to share today. If you've been here for a while, you kind of know the layout. For those of you that are new, I talk a little bit about financial. I've been watching BNN this morning. Got to change brains. Go to the creative side. Finished objects, works in progress. I've got something new I'm planning on my needles. We're going to talk about announce the winners for the recipients who are being gifted a pattern by Nancy Wheeler from Knit Sip Happy. She's also a designer of socks, and so she is gifting one of you a pattern, and I'm gifting a few of you a pattern, and more details on that. And after that, I'm going to talk about my next sort of project in my craft room that I want to talk a little bit about. And then at the end, I will save all the chatter, which usually is only 5 or 10 minutes, to the very end, just for those of you that are curious as to what's going on in Linda's world. There you go. It's never a dull moment. So why don't we start with some finished objects? I'm going to get to the hottest one first because that'd be that one. Quick change artist. I'm going to try and speak very quickly because it is way too hot in mid-July to be wearing a winter weight ranunculus. So no need to go into too much detail about this project. I just wanted to show you that this is my fourth ranunculus. And I made this out of, now I have to think about it's called Mayflower Cotton Merino from Hobby Yarns. And it's held together with a mohair. And hang on 2 seconds, I will pull that out for you. There we go. So that is the color, and it was just the denim colorway. And is this the right? Yes, I think this is the right one. Not House Yarns. Is this the ones? Always a Bridesmaid silk mohair. So in almost a lavendery color. And when you put them together, you end up with this really nice, really denim-y. It looks like blue jean sort of color. And so I just knit the regular size 60 stitch cast on. I used, let me refer to my wonderful book because I will forget all the important details. Where's my ranunculus? Ranunculus number 4. So I used 6 millimeter or US 10s, I think it's US 10 for the body, and 5.5 millimeter for the ribbing. In future, I think I might do a split hem because I tend to like that. I wasn't too worried. Actually, I cast on 65 stitches. I lied. I cast on 65 stitches, but look at how beautiful this is with the halo, and it just drapes so nicely. And the reason I used a cotton merino, I'll try not to look into the camera. The reason I used a cotton merino is because I'm looking for something that is still a warmer sweater, but not deep cold north. More like a cold Spanish winter type of fabric that breathes a bit. And cotton, of course, breathes, which is nice. And so this is what it turned out to be. And I absolutely love it, love it, love it. You can't go wrong with this pattern. It doesn't matter what you do. The one thing I would have done, and I made my sleeves nice and long, which I like. What I would have done differently next time is maybe separated for the sleeves right after the pattern. So actually, not even that. I think what I should have done is just checked my row gauge, which I did not do. I don't know how you would do that in a yoke, besides swatching. If you're not going to swatch, how do you check your row gauge? I don't know. That's a very good question. So it is what it is. It's a little deep in the arms, but it's super comfy, super cozy as a sweatshirt type of, a dressier sweatshirt for the fall and the winter. And I am super stoked about it. So that is what I wanted to share. That was my first finished object. And I absolutely, absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. It's just beautiful. And it's got this beautiful yoke. And hopefully all the way around. So if you're not familiar with the pattern, it's by Midore Hirose. And it's called the Ranunculus. So now I'm going to switch back into my other Ranunculus in case you didn't recognize the pattern. These are the same sweater. So I'll put the other one on and talk a little bit about it. I'm back. There you go. So this is my summer Ranunculus, and this is made with Quince & Company Kestrel linen, 100% linen. And as you can see, it has a totally different vibe because it's all flowy and drapey because it's silk, or not silk, pardon me, linen, and perfect for the hot summer weather. So this one, both sweaters are absolutely easy as pie to make. Oops, I'm falling off my hand here. There we go. But you can see that you can have a completely different looking sweater just by changing the yarn, changing the gauge, short sleeves, long sleeves. So needless to say, highly recommend this pattern. And so that is finished object number 1. I also was looking for a more cost-effective yarn because I absolutely appreciate knitting. It used to be, back in the day, more economical to make your own clothes. If you did your own sewing or if you knit sweaters, you could do it much more cost effectively than if you bought retail. But with the introduction of globalization and fast fashion and everything's mass produced, obviously the costs of everything have come down. So now it's the reverse. Making anything for yourself is probably going to be, not 100% of the time, but usually more expensive than if you just bought it off the rack at a discount store or whatever. So I was thinking about, well, how do I make nice sweaters, but not always with indie yarn or not always with, skeins yarn that cost $20. So Hobby is a great alternative. This is not sponsored. I have just, one of my knitting friends, Jackie, introduced me to Hobby. And so I thought I would check them out. And they do have a huge selection of commercial yarns, a few little hand-dyed yarns, I think, but no, they're predominantly a commercial yarn warehouse type of thing. Lots of acrylics, but they also have natural fibers, and they have lots of sales. So you probably know all about them, but they were new to me, and so I thought I would try that. And this type of a yarn was, I'm going to say, at least probably a third of the cost of buying it in either indie or any yarn store. So I paired it with mohair that I already had purchased at the Knot House, which is in Frederick, Maryland, and they've closed. So sad to see Heather and Carol go, or Kathy. I think Mom's name was Kathy and Heather. But yeah, they've closed. So they no longer dye yarn. Oh, no, I'm wrong. Heather does dye yarn. Knot House Yarns is still available online. Whew, almost made a faux pas. But anyway, so those two together are really what made a beautiful sweatshirty, bougie sweatshirt. There you go. We'll call it a bougie sweatshirt, thanks to Casey Apple. But there you go. So that was finished object number 1. And I didn't even talk to you about it before when I started it because I just started it and it just flew off my needles. It was so quick. Didn't even have a chance to let you know what I was doing. The second finished object, ta-da, is my Rumple socks by Kay Jones. So these are a shorty version of the Rumple socks, and I hope you can see that pattern. It's got a nice little wave in it. The yarn is by K Zip Knits, Kelsey of K Zip Knits. There you go, you can see that a bit better. And the beautiful pinkish colored one is called Dragon Fruit, and this is called Kiwi. So the combination was that dragon ate my kiwi, but just really nice. And it's in her Garibaldi sock yarn, and I have to say, really, really like this yarn. So I will be looking for other colorways. It is a heavier fingering, and so for a winter sock, this, not only does it feel sturdy, like it's going to last you longer, it's the same, I don't have the thing with me, but it's 80-20 or 75-25, so it's very normal, but it's just a denser weave. It might be, maybe it's a heavier ply. I didn't look at that. I should have looked at that. But this is my Rumple socks by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. So that was finished object number 2, and I love them. Highly recommend that pattern. You're going to start seeing a theme with my socks in a minute, because we are going to talk about one more. I called it, it's not really a finished object. It is, but it's so tiny, it's not really a finished object. I made my very first crocheted yarn cozy in the same yarn because I wanted to try it out. I had no idea what I was doing. I just started crocheting a circle. Oops, there you go. Started crocheting a circle and guesstimated how wide it should be, and then started crocheting, just kept crocheting, and I decreased a few stitches a couple of times to get it to kind of come in. I don't know that that's the right technique. I'm sure there are tutorials about it, and then I just did a ribbed pattern in crochet, which is front post and back post stitches. So if you need to look that up. But so it's a little messy. You can't see that it's messy because the pattern disguises it oh so well. But what's fun is I made my own yarn cozy. I just think that that is the cat's meow. Oh, I haven't even cut it. I haven't even done the string. But see, it's just this little basket. I did not so bad a job on the bottom, I thought. I'm very novice crocheter, so nobody who crochets look too closely at this. But, and see, I didn't really know what I was doing, so my lines are all off because I was trying to decrease stitches around here. There must be a different way to make a bucket. I just didn't bother to learn how to make a bucket. I just decreased stitches, which is why my ribbing is all off. But the top was consistent. The top 1.5 inches was consistent. So I did get this bucket, and it fits over a ball of yarn with some stretch so that it will hug. And as you pull from the center of your ball and your ball gets smaller, it should still hold it together. I'm going to try it out and I'm going to see. So there you go. That is finished object, sort of, number 3, if you can call it that. But okay. So now we're going to talk about works in progress, and I'm going to show you 7. That is not all of my works in progress, but those are the ones that are keeping my attention at the moment. So I'm going to show you 7. So sit back. I need a sip of water. And I'm drinking bubbly water. I hope that I don't regret that decision. But it's very warm, so I thought I needed something refreshing. But I've got 7 whips. 4 of them are socks. 2 of them I'm going to call Breezy Summer Tops. And wonderful. So let's get started. So you will know from the last episode, if you watched it, that all of those yarns that you see right in there, this little cubby, are the yarns that Patrick picked out for my year of sock knitting. And so I have I have April's, is that right? This was May's socks, believe it or not. No, No, this was March's colorway. Then I have April, May, and I have June. And I was so far behind, I had to cast them all on. And so let's go through them. So April's colorways that Patrick picked out for me, and I've shown this before, so I'm not going to go over it too much, but this is the color combination. He chose this yarn, and I picked this to go with it because I was going to make the better half socks, which I will just pull up here. Hang on 2 seconds. Bear with me. Okay, I was going to make these socks, the better half. And Natalia, I don't know her full name, it's hard to pronounce. So, but I was going to make these socks. And I just absolutely loved this whole heart pattern. And it, to me, was going to be a great way to learn Intarsia. Notice how I'm talking in the past tense. The reason being, I could not follow the instructions. It was not clear to me. So I reached out to Natalia. I reached out to her and she did send me clarification. Yay. However, in the meantime, I was so far behind in my sock making, I started a whole new pattern. So I started the pattern called Lost in Sherwood socks. And these are also by Natalia, who happens to be Fibre creative. So yay! I don't feel so bad that I'm not doing the better half now because I'm still doing a pattern of hers. So, like I said, this is the yarn Patrick picked out for the month of April, which this is an exclusive colorway to the Grocery Girls. I think it was Christmas 2019 or Christmas 2020. Not too sure, and it was called Jingle Bells. And I paired it with this beautiful skein, which is from Camp Fibre Yarns. Camp Fibre Yarns in her vibrant 80/20 base in the color Boysenberry. So what a great combination. Just it makes me so happy. This color is supposed to make you happy. And these are the socks thus far. Oh my goodness, look at them. I don't know about you, but this is just so my boysenberry jam. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I'm hoping as I knit more of the aqua will come out. I was a little concerned because the Jingle Balls has a lot of this boysenberry color in it that you wouldn't see the pattern, but I can clearly see the pattern. So I'm very happy about that. This is color work. So this is stranded color work. It's on 2.5 millimeter needles, which is a size larger than I would normally knit, but the pattern calls for it. I normally knit my socks on a 2.25 millimeter. But these ones are calls for 2.5 millimeter. And I am a little concerned that they're still going to be tight because I've tried them on, they fit, but there's not a lot of give. And because this is all stranded, because you have to float all the way through the back. So the bottom of the foot is, and it's not perfect. My color work is not perfect. I thought this would be another great opportunity to practice because I haven't done color work in some time, and you can see the bubbles of my floats. But there's also, this fits more like a slipper, like not a lot of give. So I keep testing it. I do a couple rows and I test it and I keep stretching it and hoping that as it goes up my foot that it's going to continue to fit, because it fits now. But now I'm getting worried because as you go from your toe along your foot, then your arch starts to come in. So now I need more space. My heel's still over here, but now I'm going to need more space. So I'm thinking that once I hit that part where my arch is going to start, I'm actually thinking I might have to increase a few stitches on the bottom. I don't know. But I'm thinking, because this is a lot. Color work's not easy for me. I'm not the most coordinated person. So while I'm loving it, and I think it's totally worth it, it goes much more slowly for me. And I would hate to put in all this time and then have them not fit. So these ones are very much an experiment. Notice I'm only a quarter of the way through one sock. I would have liked to have done 2 socks at the same time. However, I'm so far behind in my sock knitting that I thought I needed to cast on April, May, and June all at the same time. And May's also required 2.5 millimeter needles. And my third pair of 2.5 millimeter needles are already spoken for. So I don't have any extra 2.5 millimeter needles that I can spare to do color work in tandem. I would never do color work magic loop 2 at a time. I think all the yarn management would kill me. But I would do them in tandem because I do like doing them in tandem. I worry that I'm doing this sock and the tension is going to be so different on this sock than when I get to my next sock. So more on that later, but these are beautiful. They make me very happy to look at them. They're absolutely gorgeous. So that is April socks, and they are being housed in my Sunny Designs. That's Ingrid from Sunny Designs. She's out of the Netherlands. My Christmas bag, because this is a Christmas colorway. Jingle Balls and Boysenberry, those 2 are Christmas colorways for me. So that is very appropriate. So my May socks are in my Quanta quilted bag. Quanta Fibers does not exist anymore. She took her Etsy shop down. She used to be a yarn dyer. I think I got a skein right there of Christmas Quanta yarn. But the color that Patrick chose for this one, do I even have I don't think I have the ball, whatchamacallit. Oh, too bad. Okay, that doesn't matter. I know what it is. Look at the beautiful speckles, the pops of color in this. It's just gorgeous. This is called Light Bright, L-I-T-E, Light Bright. That was a game, you plug in all the lights, Light Bright. And this is the luxury sock base from Black Cat Custom Yarns out of Chilliwack, BC. And so it's 70% merino, 20% cashmere, and 10% nylon. It's lush. It's super, super lush. And oh my God, it's squishy. I would buy this for a sweater. It's so soft. And I'm pairing it with this beautiful deep, deep, deep navy blue. And this is from Vincent of Les Garçons. So this is Le Boutique Garçon. And this is the BFL sock in the Butler cut colorway. And it is 80% BFL, 20% nylon. And really nice. I'd love to make a whole pair of socks out of this. Not going to have enough left, but I would like to make a whole pair of socks out of that because it feels really nice. It feels a little bit sturdier. And the sock that I am making with that is called Stained Glass. I think you can see that Stained Glass so it doesn't glare. And that is by Fiona Munro from the Munro sisters. And it's just beautiful. Is there another picture? Because what I like, that's a good picture. That's a good picture. They're shorties. That's always nice. They're shorties. Now these ones are cuffed down. My previous one, the Sherwood ones, are toe up. These ones are cuffed down, but I am doing them toe up. I'm just doing it backwards because it's just a diamond pattern. So I figure it can't hurt. And I prefer toe up whenever possible. And look at these. So these are the May socks. Oh my gosh, look at them. Look at them. Are they not lovely? I just get tickled. It makes you happy, doesn't it? It makes me happy. Wow. Just wonderful. And again, this is color work. And so you gotta carry the other yarn off the sole of your foot. See, you can see it through. I'm not good, guys. This is not my forte, but the bottom of my foot, I don't care. So this is making a very warm sock. Again, really concerned they're not going to fit at the end of the day. And if they do not fit, I'm not going to be happy. But I'm trying to figure out if they don't fit. So first of all, I'm trying them on as I go. And then I have to write very diligent notes if I do any increases, because when I do the second sock, I've got to try and make it the same. Now, if I do all of that and they still don't fit, then the next colorwork socks I will do will be on 2.75 millimeter needles. Because at some point I have to be able to get a sock that fits, you know. I don't want to go up a size, like more stitches, because then the sock's just too big. I've tried that in the past, but I haven't tried going up a needle size, so we'll have to see. But they're just absolutely lovely. Make me very, very happy. And see, I have the little Les Garçons stitch marker that goes with it. Oh, very happy. But again, only a quarter way through one sock. You're going to find out why in a moment. So that is April socks. So the last one, or that was May socks. The last one was June socks. Now this was fun because Patrick chose this again, and he chose, I love his sense of color. He loves bright stuff, man. And he chose this yarn. Sorry, it is a bit of a yarn mess. It is a bit of yarn mess. I am pulling from the center, but I'm trying to show you. Look at how pretty that is. Oh, that is just lovely. And it is Timber Yarns in the, what is it? Black Tie Unicorn. And how appropriate, these beautiful colors for the month of June. I thought that was good. Very appropriate. And the socks that I've decided to make are the Meta socks. And the Meta socks are by Mary Hull. And I'm just trying to give you a good picture of the Meta socks. And that is them. And I thought that would do a good job of showcasing those colors. Now this, every single stripe is a different color, and it's a mini. They're minis. So this person actually used all scraps for each one of those stripes. And the reason that didn't appeal to me, because of this. This, I gotta show it on this side. Sorry guys, I'm gonna make you nauseous for a minute. This is what did not appeal to me. Look at the bottom there, look at that. Okay, I don't wanna do that. I do not wanna weave in all those ends of my socks. So I'm so happy that this is like a color changing yarn. And here is where I am so far. Now, those ones are supposed to be sort of mid-thigh sort of socks. No. I am doing them cuff down as per the pattern, but I'm doing them as shorties. And look at that color changing. Isn't that beautiful? And you can see I'm just going into oranges and yellows now. And so look at the back, it's striped on the back. It's just lovely. I've done the heel flap and gusset. And now the sides are all going to be a continuation of these stripes. So stripes are going to start coming here and then pattern on the top. Stripe on the underside and then pattern on the top. So absolutely lovely. Now these ones have a lot of give. I don't know. It's still stranded. Oh no, it's because it's not. It's only stranded color work in the front. It is. Is it stranded color work? Or is this mosaic knitting? No, this is mosaic knitting. That's why. You're still carrying the two yarns, but it's mosaic knitting. So you do carry the yarns in the back. Absolutely. But the front is mosaic. It's not, it's more slip stitches. Yeah, so I don't know. But it seems to be a lot more stretchy. I just love that. I just love that. I'm so happy. So those are my June black tie unicorn socks. Just love the name of the yarn too. Just love it. And those are in my Tangled Stitch bag. So Kelly is the purveyor of the Tangled Stitch. And so her bag has my June socks. So those patterns, all of them, the better half, the original one I was going to make, all came out of Operation Sock Drawer. And I'm loving this book, really loving it. So I'm going to continue to knit out of that book, which is kind of fun. But now let's switch gears a little bit to summer tops, which I've got 2 to share. So the first of the 2 summer tops that I have to share is something I started in May in Spain, because I was trying to be proactive and knit things for the summer and the warmer weather. And I was off to a great start, and I posted a picture on Instagram. And what I chose, and I'll put a picture up here, was the Anou tank top by Isabela van Elsen. Elsa? I think that's her name, Isabela van Elsen. And I am knitting it out of, and this might be familiar to some of you, Sublime Isla in colorway 0626, which is translated to a very pale chartreuse. There you go. Love it when they use numbers. And I know this yarn very well because I knit a ranunculus. My very first ranunculus I knit out of this yarn. And I no longer have that ranunculus. I gifted it to my sister because it tended to grow in length, and she's 3 inches taller than me, so it fit her better than it did me. And we love this color. So this is the yarn. It is a DK weight. It is 50% bamboo, 50% cotton. It stretches every which way from Sunday, just like linen does. It stretches. So for this pattern, I chose size 3, which is the 39-inch bust, because that is my exact measurement. That said, you're supposed to have 1 inch of positive ease. So what did I do? You're supposed to have, the ribbing is supposed to be done in 3 millimeters, the body in 3.5. I did my ribbing in 3.75 and my body in 4. And that's why I chose the smaller, or the no positive ease, just perfectly fit one, because I know it's going to fit. 1, I'm using a slightly larger needle, but 2, this yarn grows. It grows a lot. So the gauge you're supposed to get is 19 stitches to 31 rows after blocking. I'm getting 22 stitches, which is smaller, to 32 rows before blocking. I have not blocked this, but I don't care what they say. I've knit with this. I know it grows. So hopefully I'm not going to eat crow afterwards. But that's where I'm at. So I'm just at the point now. So I have knit the body, and look at this beautiful lace detail panel on the sides. So this splits, this one in the center splits the front and the back. So this is what is on the side of the garment. It is just gorgeous, and it is easy to do. It is an easy pattern to follow. So I am just here. I am here, and now I'm at the point where I have to split and I have to put some stitches on a holder. I have to put all the stitches on the holder because I'm just now going to work 1 panel, then another triangle, 2 triangles in the back, and then they are joined by either an Icord strap, or you have the alternative for a thicker strap. So I'm going for the thicker strap. So I don't have that much more to do. It's probably a good week's worth of knitting. I say it's not much to do. It's actually, you have to pay attention because you're decreasing on both sides and in pattern and a whole bunch of other things. So it's not going to be a cakewalk, but at least I'm in the last quarter of this project, I would say. And this is just sitting in my Shirley Bryan Advent advent bag. So that is summer tank number 1. Yay! Which is whip number 6 I've showed you. So only one more whip to show you. Are you still awake? It is warm. I apologize. I do need a drink. Water, that is. And sparkling water seems to be just fine. Okay, so this is being housed in my Stitching the High Notes bag. This was themed from the Outlanders. I love it. So Joanna from Stitching the High Notes. And this pattern, I'll put a picture up, is called the Sea Breeze Sleeveless Vest by Park Williams, I do believe. And I am loving this. I am knitting it in, I don't know how to say this, Sadness Garn. People say it all different ways. I know it's not line. I think it's Lina. I don't know how to say it. Line. Anyway, somebody correct me. Somebody spell it phonetically for me because I don't really know how to say it. Lina. But this is really nice. This is a great summer. It's very similar in color to my Salty Air Tea. I was a little worried about that. But here you go. This is 53% cotton, 33% viscose, and 14% linen. And viscose, don't forget, is bamboo. So very natural fibered type of summer yarn. This is, I do believe, a worsted weight yarn. So, but very light, very nice. And I have just started the back panel. And here is where I am with the back panel. And so, again, I was in between sizes. I went up a needle size and now I don't know why, because I think this is gonna be large. Just call me crazy because this is also going to grow. It's going to grow this way and it's going to grow that way. But it is such a beautiful mesh pattern. Now this is, you've got to wear a tank top under this. This is not meant, this would make a really good beach cover up. But this is meant to be an airy, breezy little vest for over a tank top. Couple things for me. My intention is to make it a 3/4 length, maybe a bell sleeve. I have to think about that. Or bracelet length, but a bit of a bell. So just a little bit of an angle down, more bohemian a little bit. And I'm probably going to do a split hem rather than the, the ribbing that kind of pulls it in. I think I'd rather have it just drape, a little bit more elegant in my mind. So I'm not sure this is the greatest color on me. It's no different than the Salty Air Tea, but vibrant colors look better on me, I think. But I still like this, don't get me wrong. It's a very soft mauvey pink. So anyway, I think it'll be fine. But it is an easy knit. It is only a 4-row repeat. Did I see it? Do I see it? Is there a mistake? Am I looking at a mistake? Am I looking at a mistake? Why is that row seem smaller than the rest of the rows? I believe, no, that's the way it goes. Oh, I thought I made a mistake. But no, I didn't. It's just the way it's going. It's just the way it's going. But it's very nice. It's very light and airy and very fast to knit up. So I'm looking forward to making progress on this so I can wear it. Because I do have places that I need to go, that I need to, or that I'm going to, that I need to have nice summer breezy tops. So, okay, so that was not technically whip number 7. That was actually whip number 6. I've got my numbers off. Do I have my numbers off? No, that wasn't whip number 7. I actually have 8 whips I'm sharing with you. So this whip is the last whip I'm showing you, and I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but I thought you might be interested in how this little machine here, the Icord maker, can turn into a blanket. So here is my Icord blanket to date. Look at this. So this is all my Christmas sock scraps that I have been doing magic knot and putting through my Icord maker, and then I have been knitting with the Icord. See, I'm out now. I have to crank some more Icord. But this is so much fun. So this blanket is 70, I cast on 70 stitches, and I'm just knitting garter. It's heavy. This is not going to be something you're going to be packing in the car. This is a heavy blanket, but it is lovely. And when you can see it, like, look at these lovely colors. They just make me so happy. They're so Christmassy. You can see there's the zoo lights from my socks before, and there's some of the cozy knitter. That was a colorway. I think it was Higgy or something. Huga. But once this is soaked and blocked, it's going to open up a bit, which is nice. But it's also going to end up being like 4 feet wide. So, I mean, this isn't even blocked, and it's already almost 4 feet wide. So when it relaxes, give it a good soak, let it relax. It's probably going to be a 4.5 foot blanket. And then it's just as long as I want to make it. And this is going to be a project that I'm sure you can appreciate is going to take me a long time to do, because it is kind of Christmas themed. I do have some more yarns or scraps that I can put in there. It is going to be Christmas themed, and I just want to keep going. I want to use it for all my Christmas sock scraps, because I remember I remember making each one of these socks. So this is an absolute hoot, but not for the faint of heart, because it's going to be one heavy blanket. We'll see once it gets to size whether or not it's even, rational, I suppose. Okay, so on that note, we should go on to what's next on my needles, which has to do with this cubby hole right here. Next on my needles, and this goes back to the socks, but it is time to choose July's yarn. So yes, I am going to cast on I'm going to cast on yet another sock. So I can already see there you go. The yarn is, the package is split open so I can see what it is. You can't see what it is yet. And so this one, my husband was obviously very much in a Christmassy mood. Are you ready? This is his choice for July. Yay! And it even comes with a stitch marker that says ho ho ho. So there you go. Oh, this is wonderful. This is called, I bet you it's called ho ho ho. Oh no, it's not. It's called Jingle Bells by Timber Yarns. It's called Jingle Bells. It's self-striping. It's 2 skeins, so you can do 2 in tandem. At least you'll get the same striping all the way. So what a hoot. I need to cast those on. That's like, yeah, I have like 6 sock whips. Oh dear. I'm going to have to do something about that. But I'm determined I will fit it in. I have travel coming in September, so a lot of these socks can get done during travel time. The color work ones you got to sit and think about, but this kind of stuff, I will be able to power through them. So yay me. And I got 2 other sock whips I will show you at another time. But okay, so that's what's next on my needles. I think that these are just going to be vanilla. I'm not going to choose a pattern because I just need to take a break from patterns. I just have enough to concentrate on with those socks. So these ones are going to be vanilla, probably ribbed, not too sure. We will figure that out. And I will let you know in the next podcast because I will be showing you my progress. They will be a whip, just FYI. Okay, so let's talk about the winners. Yay! So in the last episode, I asked you just put a comment down below because Nancy Wheeler from Knit Sip Happy was very gracious and gifted a pattern of your choice of one of her sock patterns to one of my viewers. And I matched that. I said, I'll do the same thing. I had so much editing problem with my last video. As you'll know, there's 3 versions of the same video because it didn't keep it. I did not realize that I had pulled the same footage twice or 3 times or whatever in my video, and I ended up having all this repeat string. So thank you to those of you that commented. You were so nice about it. Not to worry. I love constructive feedback, so please continue to do that. I wouldn't have known that quickly had you not said anything. Which I don't understand how I missed it in the editing, but I guess, I don't know. Who knows? I don't like listening to hear myself talk, I guess. So I must have skipped forward. But I edited once and there was still another duplicate. So I don't know if it was me popping duplicates in or it was just duplicating on its own. I have no idea what happened, but the 3rd time lucky. But what that meant for you as a viewer is if you wanted to win one of these patterns, there were 3 different spots you could put it. So not to worry, I amalgamated it all. What I decided to do is buy you more patterns. More of you get to win. Let's put it that way. So Nancy is donating 1. I'm going to donate 3 other ones, I do believe, or is it 4 other ones? I can't remember. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm donating 4 because what I decided to do, each 2 videos had around 80 or 90 comments, and then 1 video had 30 comments. So I chose 2 winners from the videos with big comments and 1 winner from the video of lesser comments. Hey, got to share the love, have fun with it. It's just on a best efforts basis, guys. So rather than have you go through me selecting all of those, I've already done the YouTube generator. And I'll put a picture of the winners up here. But the sock pattern winners are, and before I mention your names, please either direct message me on Instagram, which is For the Fun of Knit with 2 T's at the end. So For the Fun of Knit. Or you can email me at For the Fun of Knit, 1 T, For the Fun of Knit vlog at gmail.com. With your Ravelry name or however you prefer us to get that pattern to you. Because I can gift it to you through Ravelry. If I can't gift it to you through Ravelry, I'll have to talk to Nancy on how to get you that pattern. However, so the winners are, and I don't know how to say all of these, but the first winner was 80, the number 80, 80 SGMA, so 80s grandma, maybe. The second one, Linda Brush. Congratulations to both of you. The third person who won, Sid Song, so SYDSONG is their acronym on whichever medium they got through to me. On YouTube comments, Mickey White is the 4th one, MICKI, Mickey White. And the 5th was Mountain Knitter. So thank you all for all of your comments. And I know I haven't answered all of them yet. I haven't had that opportunity, but I do love the comments and I will answer them. But congratulations, everybody. So please direct message me again on Instagram under For Fun of Knit, For the Fun of Knit with 2 T's. You'll find me. Send me a direct message on Instagram, which pattern you would like to receive, or email me. That's probably the best way. Leave Nancy out of it. Best way is to either direct message me on Instagram or email me at For the Fun of Knit vlog. So knit with 1 T, For the Fun of Knit vlog at gmail.com. So those are our winners. So congratulations, everybody. Happy sock knitting. Don't be like me. Don't have 7 sock whips on the go. That doesn't work. Okay. So now I want to share with you, before we get to the chatter, one last knitting related thing. So that knitting related thing is a project I have in mind. And early on in the year, I did a bit of a destash project. Well, it was a big destash project, where I took all my yarns out and I figured out how much I had in each weight and I destashed some of it. Well, now I've got all this. I have got all these minis and I have scraps, and this sort of came about for two reasons. Let me back up. The project I want to do is somehow reduce the minis, use them, gift them, donate them, destash them, whatever. I have oodles of scraps and minis, and I love them all. Same scenario. But I'd like to make room for new inventory. I also would actually like to use them. I tend to look at minis. I love collecting them, but I'm not using them as much as I would like. I have a couple of blankets on the go, as you know, using some scraps, but that is not making a dent. I'm sure I have stuff in pretty much every crevice and every corner. I don't know about you, but I tend to tuck things away. So what got me motivated about this was, one, I was knitting on my little scrappy blankets going, I'm really not making a dent in any of this. So what am I going to do with all of that? That was one thing. And then I started watching Nitty Natty, specifically on her Stash Free 23 episode. So if you're interested in stash management, I guess, that's always a good series that she's done. I think she did 3 videos on it. And it was scrap 3 by 2023, and she wanted June 2023. She gave herself a 6-month. Well, I don't necessarily want to destash mine. I don't want to get free of all my minis. I like looking at them. They're very nice, and I like knowing that they're on hand should I need to do a little project with color. But I do want to start using them. I want my inventory to start moving. So I first thought about stash no more by December 24. Give myself 16 months to do it. I like the time frame of 16 months because, as you can see, I have a lot of knitting on the go. But I'm not too sure I want to say stash no more, minis no more by December 24. No, I don't think no more doesn't work, but maybe it's mini madness and mayhem. I don't know, 16 months of mini madness and mayhem. Maybe that's what I'll do. But anyway, it's a project, and so I really want to go through, I need to do inventory on all my scraps and all my minis just the way I did with my big D-stash. And then I need to make some decisions because I know there are colors within those groups of scraps and minis that really just aren't my love. They don't inspire me, or I know I'm just never going to knit with those for whatever reason, or maybe I have too many of one color. Okay, how many pinks does a girl need? Like, oh, maybe that's a bad question. Pink's always good, but those aren't all of them. Like, I've got others, and I'm just kind of going, no, I think it's time to declutter a bit and sort of get control. I guess that's probably the issue. I don't know what I have. So that would be the first step. And then I can make decisions about what I'm going to do with it. And so I'm going to do a little video, not a series, but a video on that process. So that'll be coming in the near future. So that was the project that I wanted to share. So maybe I like that. Mini Madness and Mayhem. That kind of sounds like me. Madness and Mayhem. It has sort of a fun ring to it. So, and actually it has a Halloween theme to it too. So it should take me well into the summer just to figure out what it is I want to do. So that's probably appropriate. Okay, so on that note, guys, that is all the knitting. I don't have any other knitting content. We're going to move on to chatter. So if you were just here for the knitting and the fiber goodness, awesome, wonderful. I hope I kept you company while you were knitting. And see you next time. And for those of you that are sticking around for the chatter, take a break, whatever you need, get a cup of tea, cup of coffee, and we will talk for just a couple minutes as to what's going on. Okay, so I tried, as you know, I've done 1 episode since Spain, so great. I would have done more. Life got a little bit crazy though, but in between, from the time that I podcast to now, I went through my basement and did a first cull garage sale of all the stuff that was in my basement that was low-hanging fruit, stuff I knew I'd already boxed away for. I'm in this decluttering sort of mode. I'm not a minimalist. as much as I admire minimalists, I'm not a minimalist. I like my stuff. But our basement is a big storage thing. So I went through, Patrick's still in Spain. I thought, great, I can actually haul it all into the garage, have a garage sale, get rid of a lot of it, and surprise him with a much cleaner basement. So I advertised on Craigslist and I advertised on Marketplace a week ahead of my garage sale. My mom came over, plus her cotton socks, on the Saturday to help me, but I had trucked all week. Who needed to go for a walk? I was just up and down the stairs. I got all my steps in, up and down the stairs for a week, hauling box after box. I parked my car on the street and literally half of my garage was full. I'm talking full of stuff. If I have a picture, I'll show one. I can't remember if I took a picture or not. But we haul it all out, and between, probably it was a later start, between 10:30 and noon, we had 10 people. And from noon until 4, we had no one. Nobody came. Like, it was the strangest thing. And I've had garage sales before where I was overrun, like pre-COVID, overrun with, that's why I asked my mom to help, because it was like too hard to make sure nobody was, going in the backyard or doing whatever. Nothing sold. It was very, very bizarre. And I had toaster ovens, and there were bicycles, and we're talking all good stuff. There was TVs. There was like, I had a big clean out of, I even had yarn. I advertised that I was selling yarn. You would think that the yarnies would have come. But needless to say, it was a complete waste of time. It was good exercise, but I don't think I'll have a garage sale again. At the end of that garage sale, my mom had 2 vacuum cleaners that were brand new, but they just didn't work for her. They were too hard for her to pull from a strength perspective. We had so much good stuff. And so I hauled it all back into my garage at the end of the day. I sent mom home. Don't worry, I didn't make my mom do that. I hauled it all back into my garage. I took pictures of the bigger items, like a dog kennel, all the vacuums, all the electronics, anything that was big and worth a little bit. I put on Marketplace. It all sold. It all sold within 48 hours. Crazy. Then my neighbor, bless my neighbors, oh, they're wonderful, said, you know what, we have a friend who deals with new immigrants and would love to come and take a look at what's left over to see if there's anything that she can take to help other people. And I'm like, that's wonderful. Take it all for free, not a problem. So this lovely lady came over. She took all of it because it was housewares, it was cutlery, cutting boards, mugs, like plate sets. It was really nice stuff. It's just we have duplicates of everything. So she took it all except 1 carload. I only had to do 1 carload to the thrift store on the Monday. And the thrift store took everything. It was the easiest process. What I thought was going to be a complete stress turned out to be wonderful. So wonderful. It turned out great. Then Patrick came home and I surprised him with a very nice clean basement. So he was really thrilled. And I actually drove down to Seattle to pick him up. Good thing I did. He had a 3-hour layover from Seattle to Vancouver. And I thought, you know what? I'll come pick you up. It's only not that long of a drive. It's a 2-hour drive for me. So I love driving. It's nice. I'll come pick you up. So I picked him up. We came back through the border, easy peasy, no problems. And good thing we did. His flight from Seattle to Vancouver was delayed by an hour. So he would have been sitting there for 4 hours, and then an hour in the plane, and then another hour going through customs. And we were home by 3:00, like within 3 hours of him landing. So it all worked out really well. But needless to say, so Patrick's back. We've been doing lots of walking, trying to get our walking in because we're just starting to golf this week, believe it or not. Trying to figure out where we're going to golf is still up in the air, but so we've got 2 games booked this week, so we're going to start golfing. So we started walking to make sure we weren't huffing and puffing pulling our carts. And that's wonderful. So I've kept my walking up, but I did not walk when I was in Spain. So I did not finish my walking through Scotland, North Scotland, in time to get my medal. So I'm bummed about that. So I have to look for another one and sign up again. And that's through the Conquer app, which is a lot of fun. I personally enjoy it. And then next week, my knitting peeps and I were going on a little harbor boat cruise in Bellingham. Which is yarn themed, and so they're going to have some vendors, and there's going to be appies, and we're all knitting, so it's like a knit night on a boat. So looking forward to that. And then we are getting ready, all my knitting friends are getting ready to go to Flock Fibre Festival in Seattle on August 4th through 6th. So we are all going through our patterns and looking at everything and going, okay, now what is it that I really want to buy when I go? Because don't forget, because we're crossing the border and we're only there for 48 hours, not even quite, we can only bring so much back with us. And so we have to be conscious. But then there's always, they can ship it to us. Ooh, I forgot about that. Ooh, we can have it shipped. But anyway, we're really excited. We're staying in Seattle and we're going to a show one night, and it's just, oh, we're really excited. This is kind of like our own little mini knitting retreat. So super stoked about that. And yeah, so feeling very wonderful, positive, optimistic. The weather's good, summer's here, and yeah, trying to get, move more, which is always my theme. And yeah, so on that note, that was pretty much the catch up with Linda. I hope you're all doing well. I'd love to hear about what you're doing. If you have any big summer plans or anything special that you're looking forward to or knitting on, that's always a good topic of conversation. But at a minimum, I hope that I kept you company while you were knitting. And I want to sincerely thank you for spending the time with me and watching, whether you watch in snippets, whether you watch just pieces. I guess that is snippets, isn't it? Or whether you watch the whole thing all in one go, which means you've got very good fortitude. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I do appreciate all the comments. So again, winners of the sock patterns, don't forget to direct message me or email me. And for everyone, thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, and I will talk to you very soon. Take care.